Hello, welcome to the bra you want section of this. So when you're making a costume, you want to start with a really simple foam cup bra. This is a wide B. I am in normal life an A to a B. I always want to have my bosom more than encapsulated by the cups of my bra. We all fluff throughout the month, and it's good to make sure that you have enough room to fluff just in case. And that way you're not like having to, this is my first part of the month costumes, this is my second part of the month costumes. Give yourself a little bit of wiggle room. Padding can always happen later. And you can always put a modesty panel up here at the top if you need to, and we'll talk about that later. So you want a bra without any padding right here. That's gonna make it really, it's a pain in the tail to sew through. So get a bra that's just simple and plain and more than encapsulates your bosom. You want something with an underwire right here because that creates a stable base for us to sew through, and we will rely on this wire as much as we can. We will be padding the inside of this so the wire won't poke into you like it does in normal life. So this is super cheap. This was like the 3 for $12 at Gabe's. So this is what I use to build on. It does not matter if this fits or if this fits, they're getting cut off right now. So when you are wearing belly dance clothing, you are wearing athletic clothing. You should not be relying on just whatever support Belk company saw fit to give you. Give yourself the support you need. So this is going to come off. This space right here is never wide enough for me. So that is a thing I will cut off in just a second. But this is the scary part. These come off. There's no need to really like strip it down any further. All of this sewing right here where the shoulder strap was held on, it's fine. We'll just leave it. So right here, this space in the middle, I always have to make longer, but you want to like cut pretty close against the cups because it's nice to use this as the gauge for width. Now, here is when we slice into our grandma pants. It's easier to salvage if you've got access to seams. So turn everything in. There are times that it's worth picking seams. This is not one of them. I have obsessive compulsive disorder, which may or may not come as a total surprise. Sometimes seam picking makes my brain very happy. There are days that I just need to get stuff done. So just cut right along the seams so you can open these up. So we're just gonna slice right up the seams. And this is assuming you have not bought yourself yardage. Again, if you are shopping for fabric to make straps out of, get lightweight duck canvas or look for a lightweight wet cotton webbing that might work for you. Again, I don't like the nylon webbing, but it certainly works and I have used it in a pinch, but it's not the thing I'm gonna do a lot of beading onto. So you're just gonna open up all these seams, taking off the waistband. We want to preserve as much of the long pieces of this as we can, because that is often what we need and are limited by is fabric length when you're salvaging. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to make myself for this example piece, I'm going to make an open side, but I'm going to show you how to cut several straps. So once you've opened up the inside leg up to the crotch, you don't really need to cut the outside leg off. The inside leg is actually really useful because if you want to have a solid band for your top, move that so it's better in front of the camera. If you want to have a solid band for your top, it's really nice to use this kind of crotch piece as part of that. And it's an efficient use of the fabric, but this is the same shape right there. This will fit right here on the side of the bra. So always leave yourself extra space and just kind of cut a generous swatch. This is way more fabric than I'm going to want in the bra, but we're gonna fold these edges under in a little while. That is how you cut a solid body band. If we're cutting any of the other of the 3 kinds of bras that I tend to like making, all we need is straight pieces. And I like to just make some extra strapping so I can play with stuff as I go. Don't feel like your first decision is going to be the last decision. So here's a nice long straight piece. I'll use these little offcuts for something, so they get saved. And it's nice to use the pants and cut both legs at the same time so you have 2 matching pieces. So I know I'm going to need some long pieces in order to make shoulder straps and an open V. So I'm just gonna cut off the cuff. This is too heavy to really be comfortable, and I don't want to mess with sewing through it. So you can freehand it, or get yourself a width guide and mark this up, because this is going to be covered. Yep, well, that didn't make a mark at all. Don't have to be delicate about this. You can use Sharpie if you need. Just give yourself some straight lines. And this is a little wider than I'm going to want the strap to be. Again, that's fine. And go ahead and cut just a bunch of strap while you have everything laid out. If you don't use it all, you've got it to play with still. So I'll use these for body band. And this will be shoulder straps. Now, the costume that I actually need to get made, we're going to go ahead and start because I have a deadline on it. So, the way to cover bands, and I'm just going to go ahead and cover long strips because that will give me a bunch of stuff to play with, which is how I design. I kind of have an idea, but I don't have a plan. So with this, I can take this and fold it in half while I am covering it, which will give me a nice, stable, reliable shoulder strap. You know, if I want to leave it more open like that, I can have, I like having, for me, for fashion, I like having stout straps around the body and narrower straps over the shoulder visually. It just makes, it makes for the kind of lines that I like when I look at pictures. So here is a bed sheet, everyone's favorite. This is a cheap bed sheet, again from the thrift store, and it is a green that I like. It is not what is going to be visible at the end of this because I'm going to cover all this with another layer of pretty material, but this will create the base color that I want. So what we're going to do is do a running stitch all the way down here. And then we're going to flip it over and cover it. And I'm going to thread up a needle, and I'll be back with another video.